Step 4 in learning the card is what hand is that? Which hand were you going for? Where's that hand on the card? I've heard it all before when a winning hand is declared. However, don't let that be you. Before we go into learning Step 4, I wanted to take a minute and let you know something. Did you miss Steps 1 through 3? And did you know there is a Step 5 and 6? See all the videos with the same content on a playlist I created on YouTube. Go to Mahjong class, type in your browser. Mahjong class will come up and you want to click subscribe if you haven't already. You can click on Mahjong class playlists and click on how to learn the card, full playlist. Here are all the lessons that I have made to help you learn the card. Steps 1 through 6, with a bonus of some of the live clinics where I go through some of the steps on the live clinic. You can click on play all so you won't miss a thing, and you can watch all of the steps from 1 through 6 in order. I am sure that by watching the complete playlist, learn the card, and running through the steps 1 through 6, it will help you end your frustration and confusion when trying to pick a hand during the deal. Also, if you were on my home screen, scroll down, the playlists are listed, and you can click on play all. We have good habits, tips, tricks, and strategies, and beginner lessons, and past live clinics. Now that you've worked your way through steps 1, 2, and 3, let's take a look at step 4. However, before we begin, I need you to click the subscribe button at the bottom of your screen. You need to do this so I can help you with your Mahjong game. I post new videos often and you won't want to miss them. So click subscribe and the bell for notification for all. Now let's focus on the exposures and what hand is that by heading to the exercise room in I Love Maj. Remember, you can try I Love Maj using the link in the description below, or type the letter CB in the promotional field on the sign up page. This way you'll get a 3-week trial rather than the standard 2 weeks, so you'll have loads of time to try it out for free. No payment details are required up front, so you can explore the platform with absolutely no obligation. If you love it like I do, it's only $6 a month or $60 for the year after the trial. Give it a go. It has so many features, and I'm sure you're going to love it. I use it a lot to learn the new card. Now that you're on I Love Maj, click play, game launch, and scroll down to the exercise room to where what hand is that? Click start. An exposure or set of exposures is shown at the bottom of the screen. Make sure at the top of the screen you're with the current card. When this is being recorded, it is 2022. Come April, you can change the card. Below, we have groupings of 2 sets of pungs of flowers and a kong of sevens. You can go through each category that you think that this might show up. So are sevens in 2022? No. Do they show up in 2, 4, 6, 8? No. They could be any like numbers. You click on that category, and all the hands in that section will appear on the screen. Click the plus button next to the hand or the hand itself to select the hand or hands that the grouping below shows up in. 2 sets of pungs of flowers and a kong of sevens. So you hit the plus, and it shows up on the right-hand side. If this is the only category you feel that this grouping belongs in, click Validate. Oh no, we missed one category. That was in consecutive run. The solution showed all the green check marks for the hands that we got correct and the red X for the ones we omitted or added in error. So this is a good way to learn where you can use 2 sets of pungs and sevens. So here, this would be 7-8 or 6-7. Moving on to the next hand and repeating the steps just as we did before. This time, it's a pung of red dragons. Where can we use a pung of red dragons? What I wanted to point out is on the top right-hand corner, you can see your score. Let's get back to the pung of red dragons. Where can we use red dragons? You can go through each category, so let's do that in this example. So we'll click 2022. Look for dragons in this category. Yes, there are red dragons, but it's a Kong. So that's the only one here. Let's move on. 2468. Look for dragons. Here's dragons, but it's a Kong. So not here. Any like numbers. There's no red dragons here. A pung. Quince has a quint of dragons. Consecutive run. Here's a Kong of dragons. Oh, look, a pung of dragons. So click on the plus sign to add it to the right. Let's look in 13579. Oh, look, a pung of dragons. Let's click on it. Oh, and don't forget to include, this is line A, include line B also. I did want to show you, if you click something in an error, so let's say you clicked this one, it shows up here on the right. If you wanted to remove it, you just have to click on it and it will come right out of your selected hands. Winds and dragons, are there any pungs of red dragons there? There sure is in line number 2. I did want to share with you, since you're mastering exposures, concealed hands should not be selected as they will never be exposed on an opponent's hand. The system also might throw you a curveball by showing exposures that do not match any concealed hands. If you think that's the case, just click Validate without adding any hands to the selected list. So even though the bottom line is a pung of red dragons, we are not going to select it because that is a concealed hand. Let's move on to the category 369. Oh, look, dragons again, but it is a Kong. In line number 4 is a pung. Perfect, we can select that. And as you know, pungs of dragons would never show up in singles and pairs. So let's click Validate and see if we're right. Great, now we know that there are 5 hands that use a pung of red dragons. Click Next to move on to the next hand. Now we have sevens and white dragons. Where can that be? Instead of clicking through each category, think of where sevens can be played. So immediately I would think 13579. So if you click there and you look for hands with sevens and dragons, there is one right here. However, it is not a Kong of sevens, it's only a pung, and it's only a pung of dragons, and it's the same suit. So this would not be correct. Where else can we use sevens with dragons? Maybe any like numbers? Perfect. This is where you could use dragons, a Kong, an opposite suit of sevens. So let's click that. Where else can we use sevens? Possibly in consecutive run. However, we're looking for a Kong of sevens and a Kong of dragons. This is the only hand with a Kong, and there's no use for sevens in Kongs in that hand. I do believe that this is the only hand that uses a Kong of dragons and a Kong of sevens. Let's validate. We did it. Hit next hand. Now you have ones and threes. Where would that be? Oh, I think it would be in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But it's two different suits. So here's ones and threes, but it's a matching suit. Here's ones and threes, but they're not pungs. Ones and threes, not pungs. Ones and threes, this is a Kong and a pung. It's two different suits. I don't think this is in this category. Let's look in consecutive run. Where could we use 3 ones? This very bottom hand. Oh, but this is concealed. So we can't click on that because that would be invalid because this is an exposure. So let's take that away. And I think that they're trying to fool us. So again, as I mentioned previously, sometimes the system will throw us a curveball. So it doesn't match any hand on the card that's exposed. So in this case, I am just going to click validate without adding any hands to the selected list. Hooray! We are correct. There are no hands that match this type of exposure. Now we have sixes and nines. Where can we use sixes and nines together? In 3, 6, 9. This is a pung of flowers, so let's quickly look for our pung of flowers hand. And then we have 3 sixes and 4 nines, a pung and a Kong in the same suit. Perfect. This is the hand. Validate. Next we have 5, 7, 8. Well, 5, 7 would be in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, but they're throwing us a curveball with the 8s. So where could you use a run of numbers? Consecutive run, you're right. And then you have to have Kongs and Kongs of a run at the back end. So here we could do 7, 8 here. However, this needs to be 6, and we have 5. We could do 7, 8 here, and then we can have 5, 6. So this is the hand. Is this the only hand? The one in front of it could be 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's all one color, so that would be all one suit. This is the only hand that this could be. So let's validate. Our score is 5 to 6 because at the beginning of the hand we messed up on 1 that we learned from. So now let's move on. This is a great one. I actually, when I first got the card back in April, struggled with this one because I knew that it would be in Winds and Dragons. So here it is, 4 easts, a Kong, and 4 easts here. Where else could you use 4 easts? There's none more in Winds and Dragons. But this year, in Quince, you can use 4 easts right here. So now you just learned that there are 3 hands where you can use 4 easts. Click validate. When you're finished your exercise session in the time that you have, click the exit button on the top right. That will bring you back to the home screen of I Love Maj. You can click on to play with bots and play either a just for fun game or an official game and test out your skills of learning the new card. Keep watching the next video for steps 5 and 6 in learning the card. And also make sure you practice the steps on I Love Maj because practicing is the best way to learn. And try out the exercise room with each of the steps they have. Remember, use code CB when registering or paying for an annual subscription. Now you know how you can switch hands. You're another step closer to learning the card and ending the frustration and confusion. Keep going, there's still steps 5 and 6. What attracts you most to Mahjong? Tell us in the comments below. Give us a like by clicking the thumbs up and click subscribe to not miss our next video. It's your move. If you'd like to take lessons from me, you can contact me on Instagram at Mahjong Class, or on Facebook, or on my website. The easiest way to get in touch with me is to email me at mahjongclass@yahoo.com. Thanks for watching.